Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and when I tell you we got a really big show today, I'm not going to do the old Ed Sullivan. It's just a really big show. It really is, and I'm so excited about the high quality of guests that we have, Aprylete. It's always a special day with our health and mental health and wellness contributor, Aprylete Russell. Today, we're joined by a real history with the former U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, in just a little bit. But right now, we have a gentleman who is creating history of his own as the new president of Barber Scotia College in Concord, North Carolina. Attorney Chris Ray and Barber Scotia Rising and President Ray were the subjects of our number one story in the newsletter today, and that is President Rey. Any misspellings, I apologize for that, Dr. Ray. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Just, you know what, this has just been an exceptional day. Having an opportunity, thanks to you, having an interview that we did that we're going to put on Black America Web, and doing the story on you for today's newsletter. And as I said, we are at the end of our week, and now with you and Dr. Elders, it's pretty phenomenal event for me today. So I appreciate you joining us.
Oh man, I just appreciate you loaning your platform to us just so that we can, share the Barber Scotia story and to uh, you know, ask everyone to kind of jump in and help save another HBCU and make sure that everyone be a part of history. So I just
Yeah, it is historic, and you are doing this as you've been on the job for less than a month. As president of Phi Beta Sigma, you came into Barber Scotia and said, what can I do? What can my organization do to help you? You developed a relationship, and sure enough, they asked you to apply for the job of president as the interim president was going out. And here you are. I know you didn't ask for this new job and the challenges that it exists, but what are some of the challenges that you found as you joined Barber Scotia as its new president?
um, I will say that it taking on an opportunity like this, you know that the number one challenge is we lost our accreditation almost 20 years ago, and it's developing a strategy to get that accreditation back.
Hmm.
That's front of mind. The other challenge, coming in was realizing that there was a an opportunity for individuals, the city, the relationship that we have to rebuild with the city, because there has just been some strained relationships there. But we're committed in this new administration to make sure that the city and the county knows that we are here to work with them. And then also another big challenge is it was getting the alumni, getting them rev back up again. We have a set of alumni that, they have been absolutely stalwart. The doors of this college is still open because of our alumni.
Mm.
They gave. But then we want to make sure that we bring everybody into the fold. And sometimes, when you've gone almost 20 years of saying, hey, we're almost here, some folks get discouraged. And so my hope is that this time it truly will be different.
It will be different under your guidance and with the new administration that you're bringing on with them with you, as well as your new relationship, as you mentioned, the city and the county governments. That's and coming to some sort of agreement with them. That goes a long way too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the reality is that almost about 10 years ago, the city tore down some dorms here on campus, and the city bill for that has come due. It's been over a decade now that we haven't had to worry about it, but now we do. And a part of getting back to accreditation is making sure that you have to make sure and demonstrate as an institution that your physical books are in order. And so
Hmm.
we don't want to apply for reaccreditation knowing that we have this hanging over us. And so it's a note almost $500,000. We know that the city could probably wipe that out. I'm a former mayor of a city, and so I
Hmm.
know the power of what a city can do. Or the city could decide to cut that bill in half, or they can really work with us in other kind of ways. But if you have to plan for worst case scenario, right? And
Right.
worst case scenario is we have to pay the full amount. And if we have to do that, we want to be prepared to do that before we get back on our path to accreditation.
Well, I submit that you have a really impressive background. Not only, and you can tell us and go in a little bit more, but in the military, of course, you have your law degree. You are the former mayor of a city in North Carolina, and as president of Phi Beta Sigma. And so, all of these things, I think, have just come together in enveloping you in making a difference in your negotiations and your meetings with people who will only serve to make Barber Scotia a better school.
No question about it. Now, if you would have told me, my plan when I was growing up in life, when I went to college, I wanted to be an athletic director of a Division I college.
You still can.
That's the plan, I still can, but I mean, that was the plan. I was a track and field All American. My goal was to go to the Olympics, get a couple of gold medals, retire in my 30s, and then
Mm,
become an athletic director. That was the plan.
wow.
Little did I know that my path would take me to the Army, where I became a signal officer, focusing on information technology and cybersecurity. Little did I know that I would get out, go work on Capitol Hill for a little bit with Congressman John Lewis, who
Yeah.
inspired me to go to law school, and then that law school opportunity would take me to run for public office. When I said I would never run for public office, and John
Mhm.
Lewis told me when he first met me, he said, "Young brother, you're going to run for public office one day. And when you do, I'll be there." And,
Ah.
and I told him, I said, "Congressman, I will never run for public office." And I ran for mayor 3 times. And all 3 times I won, and all 3 times he came and campaigned with me. And so I would have never thought my path would have taken me there, to take me to becoming the international president of Phi Beta Sigma, to now sitting and being the president of a college, an
Yeah.
historically Black college to be at that. So I take all of that life experience to this role right now and recognizing what is possible. And so I am not afraid of this mountain to climb for Barber Scotia College, because I've been in I've climbed enough mountains, I've been in enough valleys, and I know what is possible for this college, and we're going to make sure that we get to the mountaintop for this one.
How about the immediate area of Barber Scotia? You talked about the alums, and what about the town itself? Are they excited about what you are building here and what you're creating as Barber Scotia is rising?
I think so. Yeah. So Barber Scotia sits in what's called the historic Logan community, and of course, this is a place where a plethora of amazing African Americans have come out from the Cabarrus
Hmm.
County area here in North Carolina, here in the city of Concord, and so the buzz is, of course, is all about Barber Scotia, because you have a lot of alumni, folks who grew up in this community, that played on this campus, came to camps, summer camps on this campus. Some of them went to college here. They have family members that have gone to school here, and so they are really, really excited about the art of what is possible here.
Right.
So I'm excited to introduce to them some of the new programs that we're going to be bringing, some of the new academic programs that we're going to be implementing, and then some of the summer opportunities that we want to be able to utilize some of our facilities for some of the program events. We want to make sure that we are a part of this community again, and I'm looking forward to that re-engagement.
So let's talk about Barber Scotia Rising, and that's an acronym. From my understanding, that's something that you created yourself. And what does the acronym stand for?
So rising, each of the letters represent the platform that I want this administration to focus on, and I'll just focus on rise. Rise is the R is focused on rebuilding our buildings, rebuilding our internal and really our external infrastructure of the college. The I is for instruction or instructors, which means that we have to focus on identifying, the caliber of faculty, that's going to come back, faculty and staff that are going to come back and help us move the needle for Barber Scotia. The S is for strategic plan. Our board of trustees have laid out what the strategic direction of where Barber Scotia should go, and I get the opportunity now as president of the
Mm.
organization of the college to be able to implement that strategy. And then the E is for engagement, engaging our community, engaging the city and the county, engaging our alumni, engaging new friends and new corporate partners. So the rise of Barber Scotia will be focused on really those four tenets. And my hope is that as the alumni and all the individuals begin to re-engage with Barber Scotia, that they too want to rise. They want to see this college rise. They want to see this community rise, and they want to be able to see that all the individuals who touch this school, that they're going to rise as well. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. And I just might say that we have a young lady in the back who is waiting to come on, who might be an incredible get for your administration, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, who made history as the first African American woman to serve as the U.S. Surgeon General of the United States under Bill Clinton. So, I mean, if you talk nice to her, she might be able, to do some online classes for you or
Listen,
something in the science.
if she can hear me, please know that you are welcome to be a special faculty here at Barber Scotia College. We welcome her expertise and her knowledge, and just Barber Scotia was when it was founded in 1867, it was for newly freed Black female slaves,
Right.
and so of course this college has grown in such a way now that of course we support everyone, but having Barber Scotia is no stranger to strong women who understand what the assignment is,
Yeah.
and understanding about making history. So our very own Mary McLeod Bethune came through here,
Mhm.
and she shook the world, and she got that right here on this campus.
And may I also say, Dr. Elders is no stranger to HBCUs as a proud graduate of Philander Smith.
That's
And
right.
so let's talk about that, the year that Barber Scotia College was founded. You said 1867, correct?
156 years ago.
So what is that 156? How does that number play into your plans for your donation drive?
Absolutely. So, I know that everyone is out here giving and they have a lot of other commitments. But Barber Scotia is 156 years old. Our goal is to expand our donor base by 6,000 individuals. 6,000 individuals. And if 6,000 individuals could give us $156, that will give us enough resources for us to be able to retire the debt of this college to the city of Concord.
Wow.
Just $156. And so we're asking folks to go to our website at the letter B, that stands for Barber Scotia, b-sc .edu, and click on the give button. And there, the very first button there says Barber Scotia Rising Fund, and you click on that. Of course, it defaults to $156, but we don't want that to
Don't let that deter you. Don't let that.
$1,560, right?
Mhm.
Our goal is to just have individuals make a contribution, and be able to say that I did my part to save another HBCU in this country. And once we can wipe that debt out, I'll take it from here. Right.
And taking it from there means then reestablishing your accreditation, and that means you're able to enjoy the opportunity to offer students aid, federal aid, and things like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the accreditation process is going to be critical for any student who wants to not only attend Barber Scotia, but as you say, qualify for federal financial aid. And so we can't do that until we are fully accredited. And the process, to be aggressive, it takes about 18 months, but it takes 18 to 24 months. So our message to any student who wants to go to school here is, if you start with us, I have every intention on when you walk across that stage in 4 years, that we are a fully accredited institution that will allow for you to take that degree and go to graduate programs, or or go to whatever job that you so choose and that we would have prepared you for. But it takes us doing step number one, which is paying the debt off, and then being prepared. And I'm assembling an amazing team of individuals that's helping me get ready for that process because it's a very difficult process.
And you're the man for the job. Talk about the online opportunities for students to go to Barber Scotia at this point.
Sure. So, and we're going to make it, we're making it, we're making it easy. So, of course, I have an information technology background. I spent 22 years in the United States Army between active duty and National Guard. And in that time period, it was all about IT and cybersecurity. And so my plan is, not hope, but my plan is to build a very robust online platform for Barber Scotia. Now we want to have the hybrid process because I think in the 21st century, you need to be able to meet learners where they are, and some
Hmm.
scholars will never be able to step on campus, right? So we want to make sure that we have that platform for them. So that's going to be our first step. But then we want to create opportunities for students who are in the immediate area, whether you're a commuter or someone who wants to come and be in person. We want to create that as well. But in the coming weeks, we're going to be rolling out our new programs where we're going to be focusing in on. You can get your business administration degree with a concentration in entrepreneurship here at Barber Scotia. You can get your bachelor's in energy and in renewable energy. We have a religious degree, religious studies that you will also be able to provide. And of course, we're going to be introducing some cybersecurity opportunities, degrees
Hmm.
in information technologies. And then, oh, by the way, we're now working with an organization to make sure that we have a platform for certificate programs. So we want to make sure that we have all the offerings because why? Because we know that you don't have to be an accredited institution for your certificate programs. You just have to have your instructors, and the program itself has to be an accredited program. And so, but not the institution itself, and that requires that the work that you're teaching and the individuals that are teaching it. And so we're going to have all of that. That's going to be offered in this fall, coming next month when we open up our doors for the fall semester.
I can't wait. I can't wait. One more time, give people the website address where they can make their donations as they are a part of Barber Scotia Rising.
Yes, please go to www.b-sc.edu. Click on the Give button and click on Barber Scotia Rising. And again, if you or you just Google Barber Scotia College, and it will pop up. The website will pop up, and please click on that. And this is the thing. I'm looking for individuals who also want to be long-term partners with us, right?
Mhm.
It's not just about the one-time give. It's also about the opportunity to say, you know what, hey, I want to be with you all for the long haul and help me identify opportunities and resources out there because I don't know everything. I
Awesome.
know a lot, but I don't know everything. And I enter into this job knowing that it's going to take a community effort to make this happen. And so I'm grateful and willing to listen to everyone who's going to help me save this college.
Well, we are going to be following you. You can watch as we also keep a track of the donations and the What You Need to Know newsletter. You can also go to sibylwilkes.com and we'll direct you to the Barber Scotia website as well, because we are partnering with you in this effort and very proud of you and very excited about what is to come. Your future is very bright. I normally wear sunglasses a lot. I should have them on because your future is so very bright. Thank you. President Chris Ray, we appreciate it. Check out the story we did, and we also have an interview with him that we'll be posting soon as well. And good luck, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Um, Aprylete, we don't have a lot of time, but I do want you to tell people about your story. I think that this is a real hope for the future as far as the Detroit Police Department and mental health programming.
Absolutely. So the department in Detroit, their police department, has actually secured $3 million of funds. And what they're going to do is share revenue with the department. So they're going to hire 14 new officers. and they're going to take their mental health unit from 19 to 30 people. And I think that this is super important, and the mayor is very hopeful. He says that now they can be fully staffed next year, and this is something that they haven't seen in many years. So with now the 14 new police officers, they're going to focus on a program called Stop Shot Stoppers, which they're going to go around the neighborhood and make sure people know their faces and be familiar in different preventatives and things like that. And we kind of talked about that on one of our shows about police officers. They're not familiar anymore. We don't
Right.
know who is actually policing our neighborhoods.
Right.
And then when it comes to the mental health unit that they're adding more people to, this is going to be super important because this year alone, they've had 8,000 mental health calls. And
Wow.
With that being said, compared to last year, it was only 7,000. So it's only increasing, and they need more people, more boots on the ground. So this is just something exciting. And I hope that now with the Detroit doing this and finding the funds, hopefully other departments across the nation will start revenue sharing and taking some of those funds and allocating it to the police department, because it's not just defunding the police department, how, that was the topic of discussion during the George Floyd incident when he passed away. Now it's really like funding the police department, but making sure this money makes sense. So hiring new police officers, hiring mental health trained professionals, and creating those programs where we all can benefit from.
Great. Thank you so much. It's now time for us to move to our What's Really Going On segment, and we're talking living history today, young woman. So get ready. I love what this woman has done. I don't know her personally, but I feel like I do, because I have invested so much of my love and admiration into her life and her life story. We're going to now welcome in the birthday girl herself, Dr. Joycelyn Elders. Hello, Dr. Elders. How are you?
Hello, how's everybody and everything? And the program has just been wonderful so far.
Well, awesome, awesome. And I'd also like to introduce a woman who is so instrumental in bringing your story to the screen in documentary form, Dr. Sonnee Whedon. How are you?
I'm well, Sybil, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm just going to give people a little bit of background history about this young lady that we have here. Any day now, going to be celebrating her 90th birthday.
Wow.
Dr. Joyce Elders is an American treasure. She is a pediatrician and public health administrator by trade, and she also served as the Surgeon General of the United States under the presidency of Bill Clinton, who also appointed her to the State Department of Health as the leader there. She was a vice admiral in the Public Health Service Commission Corps, and not only as a history-making trailblazer in the area of education and medicine, but also in state and federal government. As I said, the second person of color, and first African American to serve as Surgeon General. Now, so it was her work in the state of Arkansas that came to the attention of then Governor Bill Clinton. Her efforts to combat HIV/AIDS, reduce teenage pregnancy, promote sex education, distribute condoms, advocate for gun control, and sensible drug legalization. Excuse me. That's when Governor Bill Clinton appointed her as director of the Arkansas Department of Health, making her the first African American woman in the state to hold that position. And then, when he became president, he invited her to be the Surgeon General. That was from 1993 to 94. And it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Elders, but it was your ability to always keep it real and to tell the truth and shame the devil sometimes in the persons of senators and what have you, that were kind of breathing down the neck of President Clinton. But you were probably the most honest person in public service in a generation, if not two, about some of these things that we've just talked about.
Well, I don't know if that's totally true, but I've
Okay.
always tried to be honest with myself. And as my mom always said, always tell the truth. And the
That's
day
right.
you, you cease to tell the truth is the day you begin to die. So everybody
Mm.
knows I'm going to live a long time. I'll be 90 and
90.
90 and what? report on August 13th.
Well, we have it in our newsletter. I like to do birthday shout outs, and we've done this over the years.
I know.
Giving you a shout out. Um, this is, I remember talking to you during the Tom Joyner show when
Yes.
you were in the Clinton administration,
Yes.
and you really stressed the importance of sex education, as you did in the state of Arkansas, proper hygiene, prevention of substance abuse in public schools. And your words have come back to play a part in today's history making efforts regarding women's reproductive rights. And I'll say this, um, you are you are known for saying we really need to get over this love affair with the fetus and start worrying about the children. And
Absolutely.
that did you ever think that we would be back here, Dr. Elders, uh, 50 years after Roe versus Wade, having it be retracted by the Supreme Court, and now we're going through this across the state, and these challenges by women and the concentration on the fetus and not the children?
You know, it's amazing. I've been amazed at how women are beginning to stand up for their reproductive rights or for women's rights.
Right.
And this has been going on for a long time, and they've been fighting for a long time. And I couldn't believe, I would have never believed that we was that we would ever overturn Roe v. Wade. I just didn't believe the women would allow that. And I feel that we as women are going to stand up and make our politicians remember
Yes.
what they've done. And if we don't do it, it's our own fault.
That's right. That's right. That's
So
right.
and we're fighting not just, not even for our women's rights, but for our children's rights.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
and we aren't talking about, this is not a race right? This is a people, human being right. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I feel very strongly that if you can't control your reproduction, you can't control your life.
Mm,
And
mm.
so we've got to stand up and fight for that. Some things are worth fighting to save. And as you see in every state so far that they had this on the ballot, women have got up. They may be sick, they may not feel well, but they were going to vote. And we can't lose what many of our elders, like me, but many of them fought and died for. So I feel very strongly that we have got to fight to protect our children, protect our grandchildren, and to protect the future of this country.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Dr. Whedon, how can you not want to capture the life and the spirit and the words of this woman? I'm so excited about your project. Tell us about the documentary you're working
Well,
on.
thank you, Sybil. I've had it in my mind for a very long time that a documentary should be made about Dr. Elders. There have been small efforts in the past, various small efforts, but that the real definitive documentary needed to be made. And I had met Dr. Elders many years ago when I interviewed her for a book that I was writing. And her story is so remarkable. It's so compelling in so many ways. It's a story of the American dream. It's an inspirational story about, when you're stuck, keep going. It's a story about vision, having the vision to envision where you want to go and then figure out how you're going to get there. So I find her story compelling and inspirational. I get up on a day and say, oh, I just don't think I can do whatever it is I have to do. And I think, well, Dr. Elders did it, so I can too.
Right.
And I think her story is going to be inspirational, as you all have said already, to so many African American women. I think women in general, and I think people in general. And my goal is to preserve the legacy of her story in this documentary film. I've been very, very fortunate to partner with Stuart Sender and Malcolm Clark from Balcony Films. I've had the help of many, many, many people who are on my advisory board, a fiscal sponsor who's been wonderful to work with, Partnership for Change in San Francisco. And I'm on it. I'm determined that this is going to get done, and it's going to get the filming. I'm hoping will be finished by the end of this year, and the post production work by the end, well, hopefully by the end of September 2024. That is the present goal. And so, I just think her story is incredible. As I said, inspirational, really for everyone in so many aspects.
So when she says it's incredible and inspirational, just from the book that I have, Aprylete, about Dr. Elders, it's Joycelyn Elders, MD, from sharecropper's daughter to Surgeon General of the United States of America. And Dr. Elders talks about growing up in a large family where they picked in the fields in Arkansas from her baby brother and all the way up, so that they could make enough money. They could sell their goods and make enough money for Dr. Elders to take the bus to college.
Wow.
And a one-way ticket.
A
One way.
one-way. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
one way.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That's
No going back.
that's the kind of grit, that's the kind of family she comes from, and this is a woman who just leaves no one behind in her story. And Aprylette, think about this. And Dr. Elders, Aprylette is one of our youngins on our staff, and I was looking at the dates and I'm thinking, well, golly, she was born when you went to when you went to Washington, D.C. And so, but your life is such an inspiration to young women like
Yes.
that, and to older women such as myself.
Yes.
Well, there is no question. It's not necessarily easy. You don't think of it as being easy.
Right.
For me, let me say that my goal was to make sure that we got out of the cotton patch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I never wanted to go back. I was talking to someone just this morning, and we was talking about always looking forward. I said, we couldn't look in the rear view mirror
Right.
Amen.
because there was nothing in the rear view mirror
Mm.
we wanted to go back. And so we had to keep looking and pressing forward. And to me, that's just how you did it. And I always we talk about my sisters and brothers picking cotton to get enough money for bus fare for me to go to college. My young brother, I remember we worked and it was cold, and he said it was getting late, and so he wanted to know, and he asked in a not a questionable way. He wanted to know, do we have enough yet?
Mm.
I looked at my young brother. I looked in his eyes and saw those big eyes looking up at me. And the only thing I said, Lord, if I ever get out of this place, I'll make sure that any of my sisters or brothers who ever need help can get out of this ladder. So I always tell people I said, when you reach the top of the ladder of success, and top is different for all of us, I said, make sure you send the ladder back down for the
Amen.
rest.
Absolutely.
Because,
Absolutely.
and I want you to know, out of my 7 sisters and brothers, I was the
Mhm.
oldest of 8. Well, we all made it out. Most of us that went to college or had reasonable jobs. I had a brother who had, I won't say a learning disability, probably,
Mhm.
yeah, but he worked for General Motors
Mm.
53 years,
God bless him.
and he missed 3 days of work
Wow.
in
Wow.
53 years. So I was
Wow.
really very proud of that. And as I said, the others all went to college, but any time they ever wanted to go to college or needed money, and we're talking about sometimes $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
My uncles were the same way.
Wow.
They was always helping, trying to help us get out of out of that. And and
Yes,
my
ma'am.
brother was was the secretary for race and religion of the United Methodist Church for the entire world.
Mm.
So that they all did well. My sister that had a PhD and was at Michigan.
So you were doctor to doctor.
So, so I'm very proud of
You
every
should be. You really should
one
be.
of
And we're so proud of you, Dr. Elders. Aprylete, you and I are both in the media and have been for a long time. So we know that this endeavor undertaken by Dr. Whedon is an expensive one. So Dr. Whedon, how can we help you in raising the funds to complete this very worthy project?
Well, if you or any of your listeners would like to make a tax-deductible donation, they can do that through this website, www.com, the number 4, the word giving.com /donation // capital B, capital E, capital F is in Frank, and the number 3. It will take you directly to our fiscal sponsor, which is Partnership for Change, and to Dr. Elder's page. It gives a beautiful story about her. There are pictures, and if you want to know more about her, it's all on that page, as well as an opportunity to make a donation. And we are grateful for donations of any size. In addition, we will be giving a 90th birthday party fundraising event at the Clinton Library in Little Rock on October 5th. We're having a luncheon, and we're inviting sponsorships from whoever. So if anyone would like information about that, they can contact me directly at drsonnee.com, DRSNNEE at AOL.com, and I'm happy to send an invitation to that event.
We're going to repeat those numbers. We're going to finish this segment, and we're going to come back and repeat, because the website was quite extensive, and so we're going to repeat that so people can have it, as well as getting in touch with you for the 90th birthday celebration. So hang on, we'll be right back. We are talking to the historic figure of our time, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, the woman who is going to bring her story to the screen, Dr. Sonnee Whedon, and our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprylete Russell, with us, and we are going to continue our conversation in trending topics. Ladies, let me ask you, first of all, Dr. Whedon, if you could repeat the website address so people can make their donations.
Yes, it's www. dot the number 4.
Okay.
For giving, GIVING.com /donation / capital B as in boy, capital E as in elephant, capital F as in Frank, and the number 3. There are a number of giving opportunities on that website, and so this one will take you directly to the Dr. Elders documentary project.
Okay.
And it is tax deductible. You'll receive a tax deduction for this donation of any size.
Wow. Aprylete, I wanted to include you in this because I think that you are a real good example, a prime example of young women who are, many of us sat at the feet of our elders, if I could use that play on words, to kind of glean the knowledge and the visionary efforts of a woman like Dr. Elders.
Yes. Well, I want to say thank you for the compliment, and I'm just over here in awe, trying to retain all of this. And I think that this documentary is going to be so needed. And we are in a space and time where the government is trying to erase our history. And we're in a space and time where the younger generation feels like life is so easy and very entitled to things. So just hearing your story and seeing this being told is going to, well, as we say, hit different. It's going to feel different. I think that it's going to resonate, and I think that young women of color and just women in general need to see this again, because I think now with the social media area and TikTok and everything just being glitz and glam, it's just we've lost touch with what it really looks like to work hard and to fight for it and to continue to fight for it, because we have to fight, like you said, Dr. Elders, like we have to fight for our life. And it starts with you. It starts with you and you and you and all of us. So I think that this documentary is going to be so amazing and so important to see.
I can't wait. I'm with her, Doctor.
Yeah, I'm excited. So it was a pleasure meeting both of you all. And it's just so exciting.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me ask you this: with the reputation you had for speaking your truth, Doctor Elders, were you always like that as a little girl? And did it get you in trouble like it often did me?
Well, I think you probably got in trouble, but my mother, my grandmother, really, my dad's mother, she was a very feisty woman of her time,
Mm,
and she stood up and when we, we were talking about going to college, my dad was feeling that I would really should stay home and help on the farms.
mhm.
I was just getting old enough to really be a real help before I was
Sure.
there. And she says, you go on, honey.
Mm.
She says, I've got enough young'uns whose shoulders you can stand on for you to make it. And
Wow.
and my aunts and uncles was between sending me clothing.
Mhm.
Many of them were working home. I was the best dressed I ever was when I was in college on clothing that my aunt sent me from cast offs
Mhm.
where she worked. And I remember a young girl was telling me one day that she just couldn't wear cast offs. I said the best clothes I ever had was cast offs.
You really, I mean, a tremendous work ethic on your part. If I'm not mistaken, you graduated. Well, most of us are going to college. You graduated from college at 18.
Wow.
That's correct. I
Wow.
graduated at 18. I did go to summer school, but I worked the whole time. I was in college and I worked through the summers. And the uh, the woman that I worked for was really very wonderful. I had a lot of breaks along the way.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
what I mean by, she always wanted me to. She had been on the board of Philander Smith College. She was white, and I was her live-in maid, and her two girls had gone off to college, and I think she wanted somebody to be there in case she died. She didn't want to die, and nobody discovered her for a week or two.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Mm.
so that was, but she allowed me to arrange my schedule to be able to not that I could work. And
Right.
so I would get up, fix breakfast or whatever we had to do, and get back in time to make sure we had dinner. And but I always made fix my schedule that I was available to give more than enough work. And so it was just her at this house, and she was not a trashy lady. What I mean by that, and some people, even she never cooked. So, but even if they went in and make a pot of oatmeal, the whole thing
Mhm.
would be a total disaster.
Oh, that must have been a relative of mine.
so, but anyway, it was a really wonderful experience. And at my graduation, the only people that was there for me was that lady and her two daughters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We are talking to the inestimable Joycelyn Elders, MD, Dr. Elders of U.S. Surgeon General fame in the Clinton administration, and also the woman who is leading the project to make a documentary about Dr. Elders, and it's Dr. Sonnee Whedon. Dr. Whedon, I don't know how long you're planning the documentary to be. I know documentaries can be anywhere from what 30 to 60 to 90 minutes perhaps, but I don't know who's going to be your editor, but this is going to be
A
a
huge
yeoman's task.
undertaking.
Yeah.
It's a big undertaking, and I'm so fortunate, Sybil. Stuart Sender has been nominated for Academy Awards. He's won many Emmy Awards. He was the first person to interview Nelson Mandela when he came out of prison.
Mm.
And Nick Higgins, who is the cameraman, won the Academy Award for OJ Made in America. So the crew is very
Too bad you
accomplished.
couldn't get any big names, huh?
I know. If I tell you how it happened, you just won't even believe it. It all came to me through a Tibetan Buddhist monk. How's that? Who made the introduction?
How about, I was going to say, look at God, but look at
How
the
about
monks
that? Lama
there.
Tenzin Chopo. So Lama Tenzin introduced me to Stuart, and the rest is history.
Wow.
I'm excited. I'm not the right person to really ask about what's going to be the length. That will be up to
Sure.
Stuart.
Yeah,
And
of course.
the post-production work is going to be done by Atanas Gurdjieff, who won 2 Academy Awards for his beautiful documentary called Honeyland.
Mm.
So it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be spectacular.
Well,
And
for a spectacular human being.
pardon,
For a
exactly. It's
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
spectacular for our national treasure, Dr.
that's right.
Elders.
That's
Yeah.
right. Dr. Elders, is there something that you don't want them to leave out in this that you say, and as you say, well, if you're going to do this about me, you got to let them know what?
I don't know of anything. I, I definitely want them to not leave out, but I do want them to know that I'm so proud of the accomplishments of my sisters and brothers,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that without them, I would have never gotten out of the cotton patch.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
so they helped me. And by the same token, I was always encouraging them to get out of the cotton patch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so proud with every single one of them. One was a veterinarian. I'm proud of this because I'm proud of it. But one was a veterinarian. Other was a manager at General Motors, and I had a brother who I said and wasn't handicapped, but he worked for General Motors for 53 years, missed 3 days of work. I had another brother who was on sports on one of the race car, drives the race car. But
Wow.
that's all a sister who got her degree, PhD in linguistics, and the only one of my sisters and brothers who really didn't have some college education is one of my sisters who says her children. She had 5 children, but they all
Uh-huh.
have gotten college degrees. And she said that the rest of us may have had the brains, but she had all of the common sense.
Okay. Okay.
Love
There's
that.
always a member of the family to tell you that, right?
Yeah, that's right. And my brother, I said, was a minister, uh, and I had another brother. So when you have so many, you can't even remember what they all
Yeah.
were doing. And
That is amazing. What a great family, and what a legacy your parents have created as well.
Yeah.
And Doctor, I can't thank you enough, Dr. Sonnee Whedon. We are going to donate and encourage other people to donate in order to bring this documentary to reality.
Yes.
It is www.4 the number 4 giving.com/donation/B as in boy, E as in everything, F as in Frank, the number 3. So, ladies, thank you so much for your time. And Dr. Elders, I don't know if I'm gonna get to that 90th birthday party or the family reunion birthday party or what, but I've got to get to you and got to get you to sign this book and also a
Yes.
copy of the documentary when that comes
Oh,
out as well.
love to. You'll have to come to Arkansas, and I'll
Not a
make you
problem.
a pot of soup.
Oh,
Oh, I'm coming too. I'm coming too. I love that.
I can eat soup every day, doctor. So thank you so much. You hit my sweet spot right there.
Mine
Um,
too.
Thank you so much, ladies. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And God
Thank you
bless you
for having
both.
us.
And thank you for all the good work you have done and continue to do.
Happy
We
early
really appreciate
birthday.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. As we close out, Aprylete, I do want to, we do like to do a little bit of entertainment. This isn't great news, but it is what it is. As a result of a lot of people, a lot of actors, people in the entertainment business are
Mm,
suffering as a result of the
the writer.
strike. The
Yeah.
writer's strike is now in 100 days plus, and the Screen Actors Guild strike is also well underway. And Billy Porter, who has become a phenom over the last few years, has announced he's about to lose his house because
Yeah.
of the Hollywood strikes. He was scheduled to work on several film and TV projects over the next month. And he said, because we're on strike and I don't know when we're going to come back, the life of an artist until you make yourself, until you make some money, you haven't really made it yet, is still check to check. And that's how he's living. And he's about to lose his home.
Yeah.
That's a sad reality.
Definitely a sad reality. And I'm sorry, my computer did something weird.
Okay.
But living check to check, that is like so many Americans, right?
Right.
Even outside of the business and the industry and things like that. So my heart goes out to all of those folks for
And
sure.
even though you live a life of glamour and everybody thinks, oh, you got all the
But
clothes,
that
you got all the, the
doesn't
jobs, and
matter.
he made a big splash and pose and things like that.
Hmm.
But the reality is, like a lot of us, living paycheck to
Yeah.
paycheck.
And it's just like with their bills now, it's just even higher, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it grows exponentially. Right,
hmm.
right. So I wish them luck, and not everybody's going to have the Denzel kind of career. Not everyone is going to be able to kind of just lay low a little bit and
Yeah,
and live frugally. Some people are having to get out and get those second and third jobs while
absolutely.
they are hoping for the best. And we do hope for the best. That I know the writers are finally talking to producers and others on the other side.
Oh,
So
that's good.
perhaps that will be concluded as well as the screen actors as well. So let's close out with the jewel for
All right.
today. And this week we've been talking about getting good sleep. I don't know about you, but this is a
Ooh.
challenge for me. But our daily inspiration says, seek good sleep as if your life depends on it, because
Mm.
it does. Sleep is medicine for the mind and the body.
Whew, I love that. And I will take that with me tonight on my journey to sleep because I haven't had any good rest this week. So
Oh, well, then I wish you good rest,
thank
because I,
you.
I do know what a challenge that can be. And I think that those are really true words. If you
Yeah.
can rest your body, your mind will follow, and then you'll be a healthier person.
Amen.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
essential.
Thank you for your good work. We appreciate it. Everyone, please go to uh, SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to the newsletter if you have not already. It is still free, and we'd love to have you subscribe, and we'll have it in. You give us your name and your email address. We'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. And also, you can go to SybilWilkes.com if you'd like to donate to Barber Scotia College. And also, we'll also have the web address for donations to the documentary for Dr. Joycelyn Elders. Just a really great day
Oh,
talking to some phenomenal people, and we end up with you. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Go out there and be good to each other, and pray for Maui. Please pray for
wow.
our people in Maui.
Yes.
Uh, Aloha.